Every series has a turning point, the moment that what you thought you were watching becomes something bigger than you ever understood. For this series, for BTS's entire catalog, that moment is April 29th, 2015. That's the day that BTS released I Need You, and it hasn't been the same ever since. We've gone through No More Dream. Do you even have a dream? And oh, who took it from you? Danger. What happens when someone doesn't value what you give? Bopsy. The game is rigged, and we all know it. Every one of those songs were pointed outward at the system, at society, at a generation's rage. I Need You turns the lens completely inward. This is the moment where BTS stopped performing emotion and started excavating it. Where they went from showing you the world that was hurting young people to showing you exactly what hurt looks like from the inside in 7 different bodies across 7 different timelines simultaneously. This is the song that launched the HYYH era. And the most beautiful moment in life, BTS was saying, was not a celebration. It is fragile. It is desperate. It disappears, and the people living inside are breaking it. Today, we're going all the way in. The song, 7 storylines, the music video that almost didn't get released, the BTS universe that started right here. And while this 4-minute video changed the direction of one of the most important music careers in the 21st century. Let's get into it. Why Young Why, HYYH. The phrase comes from classical Chinese poetry. It means the time when flowers are in full bloom, the peak moment of beauty, the instant of maximum aliveness. In Korean usage, it describes the most beautiful moment in life, the peak of youth, the time where everything feels the most vivid, the most real, and the most urgent. BTS named an era after it. And here's what they're saying by choosing that name. Not that youth is beautiful and we should celebrate it, but that the most beautiful moment is also the most dangerous one, which is actually a great point to make to the people. The most fragile, the moment when everything can break. When the flowers are at their most vivid, they're also at their closest to falling. The HYYH era ran across 2 mini albums. The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Part 1, released in April 2015, and Part 2 in November 2015. Between them came the prologue film and the Run music video. Together, they formed the foundation of what we would eventually begin to call the BTS universe. A connected, fictional narrative running across music videos, short films, notes, webtoons, and books that BTS would build throughout the years to come. But it all starts here with I Need You, with 7 boys and 7 different paths. The album was primarily produced by P-Dog, with writing contributions from RM, Sugar, and J-Hope. It debuted at #1 on the Gaian digital chart and became their first #1 in Korea. Their first #1. 2 years into their career, this is the song that broke through. And it broke by going somewhere that most K-pop never goes. Before we go deeper, if this kind of breakdown is what you come here for, subscribe right now. We're still on our push to 10,000 subscribers, and every single one of you guys helps this series reach more army that needs it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and even go ahead and hit that hype button because it helps us get in front of more eyes. Now let's get back into the song. Before we get into the music video, let's talk about the song itself, because it gets overshadowed by the visual narrative, and it really shouldn't at all. On the surface, this reads like a love song, a desperate one, someone who cannot function without another person. But here's what RM said about writing it. He described it as being about the relationship between young people and their youth itself, not a romantic partner. The you and I Need You is not a person. It is the feeling, the aliveness, the sense of being fully present in your own life. Without you, I'm nothing. When you hear it that way, when the you becomes youth, when it becomes the feeling of being alive, when it becomes the connection to something real, the song becomes an entirely different conversation. It becomes a young person reaching for something that's already slipping away, holding on to the most beautiful moment, knowing that it won't last, needing it to stay even as it goes. That reframe is what makes this song devastating instead of just sad. The production reflects this. The beat has that fragility to it. Not weak, but breakable. The way glass sounds different from stone. There's a tension in the instrumental that never fully resolves. It hovers. It sustains. It doesn't give you that release that you're reaching for, because this song is about not getting the release. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. The repetition of I'm sorry 3 times in a row, who was he apologizing to? Himself? The person he loves? His own youth for not being able to hold on to it? The answer is all three. And the fact that you can't separate either of them is the most important part. Here's a detail that most people didn't know, and it matters enormously for what I Need You actually means. There are 2 versions of the I Need You music video. The first version, released April 29, 2015, was immediately flagged by Korean broadcast authorities as inappropriate for broadcast due to its dark content. It was taken down and then re-uploaded as an edited version for general audiences shortly after. The original uncut version was then re-released as an age-restricted, over 19 to watch version. What was in the original that was too much? The truth was too much. The darkness was too much. The self-harm imagery was too much. The violence. The scenes that show young people in crisis without softening it up into a metaphor. Korean broadcasting in 2015 had guidelines about depicting mental health struggles, self-harm, and youth crisis in ways that deemed too explicit. And BTS had made a video that crossed those lines. Not carelessly, deliberately. They saw something happen to young people in South Korea. The same generation that they've been writing about since No More Dream, the same generation calling their country Hell Josian, and they made a video that looked directly at what that looked like from the inside. No polish, no easy resolution, no reassurance at the end that everything would be okay. The broadcast authorities said, too much. BTS said, this is real. This is the truth. This is exactly what's going on. Both things were true, and the tension is what makes this video one of the most important documents in K-pop history today. Now let's go through what actually happens in the music video, because each member carries a specific emotional narrative, and together they paint a complete picture of what youth crisis looks like across different lives, different circumstances, different kinds of pain. Jin, the observer, the one holding the flowers. Jin's scenes are different from every other member's. He's in a white, almost monostatic room. He holds lily petals in his hands, and he burns them. In the BTS universe reading, Jin is the central figure, the one through whose consciousness the entire HYYH narrative flows from. He's the one who cannot let go. The flowers are the youth itself, burning in his hands. He watches while the other members' storylines play out around him. He's the last one to let go, the one most desperate to hold on to something that's already gone. In the broader emotional reading, Jin is in denial. He's the one who sets beauty on fire rather than watching it fade, because burning it yourself is more bearable than watching it disappear. That's poetry all in itself. Sugar, fire, isolation, the hotel room. Sugar's storyline, alone in a rundown hotel room, surrounded by emptiness. And then he sets it on fire, not in a rage, but in a terrible calm. He watches the fire spread and doesn't run at all. He stays. In the BTS universe, this scene is also connected to a backstory about Sugar's character losing his mom and carrying that grief all along. But in the emotional reading, it's something more universal. The person who has internalized so much pain for so long that the destruction starts to feel like the only honest response to it. Not acting it out, letting something burn because it was gonna burn anyway. The way that Sugar performs this scene, the stillness, the absence of panic, it's the most chilling thing in the entire music video. He's not afraid of the fire. That's the part that stays with you. J-Hope, the hospital, the pill. J-Hope collapses. He's seen on the floor and the pills are nearby. In the BTS universe, his character carries a specific backstory. Abandoned by his mother at a young age, the pain of that abandonment never processed. Self-medication is the only release available to a grief that nobody is around to help him with. In the emotional reading, J-Hope is the member that people would least expect to be carrying this. He's the group's consistent sunshine, the one that fills every room with energy. And this music video is saying directly, the one who performs the most brightness for others, goes home and falls apart in private. That specific truth about the relationship between performed joy and private pain is one of the most important things that this music video communicates. and J-Hope carried it with an extraordinary specificity. Jimin, the bathtub, the water. Jimin's scene involves water and a moment of profound personal crisis. I want to take a breath here before describing it, because the subject matter is real and deserves to be handled with respect, not as a spectacle. What the scene shows is a young person in a moment of absolute darkness, not dramatized, not glamorized, documented with the directness that makes you feel the weight of what you're seeing. This is why the broadcast communities flagged it, because it was too authentic, too real, too close to something that was happening to the youth in South Korea that should have been a national emergency. In the BTS universe, Jimin's character embodies denial and grief, the one who cannot let go of what was, who holds on to the beautiful moment even as it drowns him. The water is adulthood rising. The struggle is the refusal to accept what's coming. This is why I always give these men their respect, because the levels that they've gone to with imagery to really give you guys what it is that they're trying to convey, it needs to be acknowledged and it needs to have some respect to it. I do understand that sometimes things go the way you expect them to or the way you might want them to, but sometimes they don't. What helps me through this process of YouTube is understanding BTS's story and really understanding how in the beginning everything wasn't given to them, everything wasn't easy, but they continued. And in that continuing, you begin to learn something about yourself, and the world begins to learn something about you as well. So I just want to say thank you for the comments that have been telling me that you guys actually like what I've been doing with these documentaries, because it's been a little hard on me. I'm not too sure what the world wants. I know what I want to give the world. And I think so many times when people think of music artists, they only think of the music and they're not taking the time out to break it down. I want to take the time out to break it down and really see what's happening, really understand why they wrote the songs this way, why was the production choices for the album, and everything I learned about these guys as I go down their story makes me have even more respect for them, honestly. So just want to give a huge shout out to everybody that leaves comments that tells me to continue these, because I didn't see these out there, and I want these to be out there more, because I feel like if more people got a chance to understand the breakdown of each record, we would see a lot more Army members as well. And the Army is bigger than anybody else's community, but let's not get into that. But thank you guys so much. It's your guy, RottenRoseQ. Let's keep rocking. Jimin is a part of the human experience that sometimes feels like the weight of continuing is too heavy. And BTS put that on the screen, not to sensationalize it, not to make it look beautiful, but because if nobody shows it, nobody can talk about it. And if nobody can talk about it, the people that are living through it feel completely alone and isolated. If anything in this section resonates personally, if it felt too close, please reach out to someone. Don't try to deal with the issues by yourself. We'll be right here when you get back. V, the father, the raid. V's storyline is the most narratively specific. He's shown at home, an abusive home, a father who hurts him, and V picks up an object and responds. In the BTS universe, there's a developed backstory about V's character, his family background, and the specific nature of what he endured. The act in this music video is the moment that everything breaks. In the emotional reading, V is rage. The kind of rage that comes from years of pain finally finding an exit. Not celebrated, not condemned. Simply shown, because this happens. Because young people in situations of abuse make impossible choices. And those choices deserve to be shown with complexity and not judgment. V's performance in this scene, the confusion, the horror at himself, the grief underneath the action, is one of the most finest pieces of acting in the music video. He's not performing a character, he's embodying the truth. RM, the gas station, the ordinary cruelty. RM's storyline is the quietest. He works at a gas station. A customer is cruel to him, dismissive, degrading, the small, ordinary cruelty that accumulates over a lifetime of being treated like you're invisible. He says nothing. He takes it. And then later on, he's shown in the rain, burning money, the only thing that the job gave him. In the emotional reading, RM is tired of the ordinary life. Not dramatic crisis, the slow erosion of a person who has been told that their worth is determined by what they're able to produce and how quickly that they can serve someone that's richer than them. The money burning in the rain is every paycheck that didn't add up to dignity. This storyline hits the hardest for people that have worked service jobs, who have smiled at customers who have treated them like furniture. It's the most ordinary pain in the music video, which makes it the most universal and the most looked past as well. JK, the fight, the car. JK is beaten in an alley and he doesn't fight back. Then later, he's walking into traffic and a car is coming. In the BTS universe, this connects to a storyline about JK's character and connection to the group, to loyalty, to a specific incident with V. In the emotional reading, JK is volatile and longing, the person who absorbs punishment without defending himself because somewhere underneath the pain, he feels that he doesn't deserve to be protected. That is a specific and devastating psychology. And the fact that JK performs it, the youngest member, the Maknae, the one who the world thought was untouchable, that itself makes it a statement. Nobody's untouchable. That's exactly what this music video is saying. Not the Sunshine member, not the youngest member, none of them. Let's come back to Jin, because his narrative needs to be understood to unlock the understanding of I Need You, who does not have a direct tragic storyline in the music video. He has no violent scene, no crisis moment, and no collapse. He's in the white room with the flowers. And in one reading of the HYYH universe, developed across fan analysis, the HYYH notes, the BTS content, Jin is the consciousness through which all other stories are being told. The other 6 members are not separate people in this reading. They're aspects of one psyche, the parts of a young person's inner world as they struggle with the transition from youth to adulthood. The fire, the grief, the rage, the surrender, the exhaustion, that pain that won't name itself. And Jin, holding the flowers, burning them, is the self that has to let it all go. The lily patterns matter. In Korean tradition, white lilies are associated with death and with the transition between states of being. Jin, holding white lily petals and burning them, is the self saying goodbye to something, whether it's youth, the person you were, or the version of life that you thought you were gonna have. The final image of Jin in this music video, he sits among the ash that he just burnt and looks at the camera, not with peace, not with solution, just with presence. I'm still here, even after the burning. Let's come back to the broadcast flag, because it tells you something important about the moment that BTS released this music video. 2015, South Korea, the youth self-deletion rates were amongst the highest in the OECD. The conversation about mental health in Korean entertainment was almost non-existent. K-pop operated under an unwritten rule: be aspirational, be beautiful, be things your fans want to be. Do not show them darkness, because darkness might break them. BTS broke that rule completely. And the broadcast authorities' response? Pulling the video, requiring them to make an edit. And that confirmed exactly what the video was saying. The system does not want to look at what it's doing to young people. Not in legislation, not in media, not in the music that it approves for broadcast. Sugar had already begun talking about his own mental health in the previous year. That was a one-person mixtape. This was a group on a title track on national television, showing 7 versions of Youth Crisis simultaneously. The fact that it had to be edited is not a footnote. It's the proof that the conversation was necessary. The authorities who flagged the video were the same authorities that they were talking about in Bopsy, the same system that Eno was pushing back on. And they reacted exactly how the songs predicted that they would, by trying to make the uncomfortable truth less visible. BTS released both versions anyway, the edited version for the broadcast and the uncut original for people who needed to see the original, and the uncut original for people who needed to see the whole thing. That choice to preserve both, to insist on the original existing even after the edit, is one of the most important things that BTS did that whole year. Not for the music, for the people watching. And you better be sure that people were watching. This is the kind of depth that we bring on every single video. If it's hitting you, please go ahead and drop a comment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and even that notification bell. And while you're at it, hype this video up so that it can get in front of a lot more people as well. We're building towards 10,000 subscribers, you guys, and all of you help make it possible. So let's go. I Need You is the beginning of something that expanded into one of the most ambitious narrative projects in musical history. The BTS universe, officially called BU, is a connected fictional narrative that runs across music videos, short films, and the HYYH notes. A webtoon, a visual novel, a web drama, and 2 full books. It is a non-linear, deliberately ambiguous, and designed to be discovered rather than explained. The 7 characters, each named after and played by the real BTS members, but explicitly fictional, carries the storyline about abuse, abandonment, grief, mental illness, self-destruction, and the desperate need for connection. The HYYH era is the foundation. Every BU release builds on what was established here. By the time Wings was released in 2016, the BU had expanded to include literary references to Hermann Hesse's Demian. By Love Yourself, it had incorporated themes of self-acceptance and the relationship between identity and pain. By Map of Soul, it was directly engaging Carl Jung's theories of shadow self. None of that architecture exists without I Need You. This music video is chapter 1 of a story that BTS would take 10 years to create. Chapter 1 of a story that BTS would spend the next decade building. But here's what I want you to hold on to beyond the lore. The reason why the BTS universe works. The reason millions of fans spend thousands of hours theorizing, analyzing, and connecting dots across music videos, webtoons, and notes. It's not because the story is clever. It's because the emotions are true. The specific pain of each character connects to something real. The abandonment, the rage, the erosion, the grief that won't move. These are not fictional experiences. They are documented realities of what the youth in South Korea was actually going through. The narrative is fictional, but the truth underneath it is not. That's why it landed, and that's why it still lands. Here's what the song and video proves. They prove that the most powerful thing that a creative can do is refuse to look away. The broadcast authorities wanted them to look away. The unwritten rules of K-pop wanted them to look away. The entire aspiration machine of the entertainment industry wanted them to not only look away, but to show something prettier. They looked directly at it, 7 storylines, 7 different faces of the same generation's pain. No easy resolution. No, it gets better. Just, this is what it looks like. This is what's happening. We see it, and we're saying it out loud. And then, between the darkness, they showed something else. The moments in the music video where all 7 members are together, laughing, running, alive in each other's presence. The most beautiful moment in life is not a single image. It's the connection. The fact that through all the pain, through all the individual crisis, and all the fire, rage, and water, they find each other. This is what makes HYYH means what it means. Not the tragedy, the beauty that exists alongside it. No More Dream asked, do you have a dream? And O asked, who took it from you? Danger asked, what happens when someone doesn't value what you're given? Bobsy said, the game is rigged, we know it, and we're running anyway. I Need You says, this is what the running costs. This is what it looks like inside, and we need each other to survive it. Black Swan would ask, what if you pour everything into your art and feel nothing at all? This series has been building towards this. Every layer. No More Dream gave us the dream, and No gave us the fight. Danger gave us the heartbreak. Bobsy gives us the rage. And I Need You gives us the truth underneath it all. The most beautiful moment in life is fragile. It's desperate. It slips through your hands like lily petals. And the only thing that makes it bearable is that you don't have to hold it alone. Drop in the comments, which storyline hit the hardest for you the first time you watched it? Was it I Need You? Was it Sugar's stillness in the fire? J-Hope's collapse? V's rage? RM's quiet erosion at the gas station? I want to know because every answer lets me know about something that we've been carrying here. And if someone in your life needs to know that they're not alone in whatever they're feeling right now, share this video to them. This is what BTS made it for, and that's why we're breaking it down. Rotten Rose family, we are building something real here. These breakdowns exist because their music deserves this level of care. And you deserve content that treats you like you're smart enough to handle the truth. We're pushing towards 10,000 subscribers right now, you guys. If this video has moved you at all, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that hype button, and like this video. Every like tells the algorithm to put this video in front of someone that has never seen it before. And that person might be someone who actually needs it. If this is your first time watching the video with me, I want to say thank you. If this is your second time watching the video with me, I want to say I appreciate you. And if this is a normal thing that we do here and you are Rotten Rose family, I just want to say I hope that you're having a beautiful day. For early access to scripts, extended breakdowns, member-only deep dives into BTS lore and analysis, join the RottenRoseQ YouTube membership or the Patreon. Both are linked in the description. And if you want to support the grind directly, go ahead and hit us up on Cashapp at $RottenRoseQ. Every single video in this series is linked in the description as well. That goes for No More Dream and O, Danger, and the masterclasses on each member of BTS as well. The thread runs through all of it. The more you watch, the more every video opens up. We are the Rotten Rose family. Not one comment ever gets unnoticed. If you don't believe me, go ahead and see. Thank you guys so much for watching. You matter more than any beautiful moment. You are the beautiful moment. It's your guy, RottenRoseQ, and I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one. Later.